I'm 8 weeks pregnant, and I need you to take a paternity test because I can't trust you anymore. Those were the words my wife Joy said in front of 50 guests at our anniversary dinner before accusing me of having an affair. My own parents looked at me with disgust. My best friend called me a cheater. Everyone believed her tears, her story, her lies. But Joy made one critical mistake. She didn't know that her lover, Dr. Cameron Mitchell, had already confessed everything to me. She had no idea I'd been preparing for this moment for 2 months. What happened in the next 30 minutes will make you question everything you think you know about trust, manipulation, and revenge. Viewers, what would you do if someone you loved publicly destroyed your reputation with lies? Drop your answer in the comments. Before you continue, please subscribe, like and watch till the ending to share this interesting story. My name is Nick Backley. I'm 34 years old, a senior software architect at Technova Solutions here in Seattle, Washington. For 8 years, I've lived what most people would call the American dream. Corner office overlooking Elliott Bay, 6-figure salary, beautiful wife, respected career. Tonight, I'm sitting in Canlis, the same restaurant where I proposed to Joy 8 years ago. The private dining room glows with warm light, 50 of our closest friends and family surrounding us. My parents Robert and Susan sit to my left, beaming with pride. Joy's parents Gerald and Patricia are across from us, champagne glasses raised. My best friend Jake and his girlfriend Sophia laugh at some joke I can't hear over the blood pounding in my ears. The walls are decorated with photos from our relationship, from our freshman year at University of Washington to last summer in Tuscany. Everyone sees the perfect anniversary celebration. What they don't see is the manila envelope burning a hole in my jacket pocket. What they don't know is that 3 weeks ago, I discovered my entire marriage was a lie. Joy sits beside me in her emerald dress, radiant and glowing, her hand occasionally touching her stomach in a gesture nobody else has noticed yet. But I've noticed everything lately. The way she checks her burner phone when she thinks I'm asleep. The charge on our credit card for a boutique hotel in Capitol Hill, billed on Tuesdays and Thursdays like clockwork. The yoga classes at a gym where her membership expired 4 months ago. I hired a private investigator named Raymond Torres 6 weeks ago. Former Seattle PD, kind eyes, professional discretion. He handed me a folder that confirmed my worst nightmare and gave me one piece of advice that changed everything. He said when people get caught, they attack first. So tonight I'm letting Joy attack. I'm letting her make the first move. Because I'm 10 steps ahead, and she has no idea what's coming. Joy stands up, tapping her wine glass with a silver fork. The room falls silent instantly. Every eye turns toward her. She's glowing, genuinely radiant under the chandelier light. My mother Susan wipes tears from her eyes before Joy even speaks, anticipating something beautiful. Gerald raises his champagne glass higher. Patricia clutches her husband's arm. I sit perfectly still, my face composed, watching Joy perform. She's always been an incredible actress. That's what made me fall in love with her back in our computer science study group in 2010. She was pre-med then brilliant and quick-witted, the first woman who actually laughed at my jokes about algorithms. We got married right after graduation. Everyone called us the power couple. Her voice trembles as she begins speaking. Everyone, I have an announcement I've been dying to share. She places her hand on her stomach, the gesture deliberate and rehearsed. I've watched her practice it in the bathroom mirror for 3 days. Nick and I are going to be parents. I'm pregnant. The room erupts into chaos. Cheers, applause, champagne corks popping. My mother rushes over to embrace Joy. Jake slaps my shoulder, grinning wide. Sophia squeals with excitement. Gerald stands, tears streaming down his weathered face. But then something shifts. Joy's expression changes, hardens into something I've never seen publicly before. Privately, yes. I've seen this face when she thought I was asleep. When she was on her burner phone texting someone she called C in her contacts. When she'd come home from the Meridian Hotel with that satisfied smile. The celebration continues around us, oblivious. Joy looks directly at me now, and her next words slice through the joy like a scalpel through flesh. But I need to say something else. Something I've been carrying alone for weeks. Her voice cracks perfectly, tears forming on command. Nick, I know about her. Please don't forget to subscribe as you continue. The room goes silent. Confused faces everywhere. Jake's smile fades. My mother steps back from Joy, uncertain. I know about your affair, Joy says louder, her voice breaking beautifully. With Melissa from your office. The late nights you said were deadlines. The business trips that had no flights booked. The receipts I found for hotel rooms downtown in our own city, Nick. My mother gasps audibly. Patricia's hand flies to her mouth. Gerald sets down his champagne glass slowly, the crystal clinking against the table. Jake stands up, his face reddening. Are you serious, man? He shouts at me. While your wife is pregnant. What the hell is wrong with you? Joy is sobbing now, her shoulders shaking. She's always been good at crying on command. I remember our second date when she faked tears to get us out of a speeding ticket. I thought it was charming then. Manipulative now. I found the text messages, Nick, she continues. I saw everything. And the worst part? I don't even know if this baby is yours or if during our problems, I made a mistake too. The room explodes into shocked murmurs. Sophia covers her mouth. My father Robert stands, disappointment carved deep into his face. He built his construction company on integrity, raised me to value honesty above everything. Son, is this true? He asks, his voice heavy. All 50 people stare at me. Waiting. Judging. Joy's tears. Her mother's protective arm around her shoulder. My mother's betrayed expression. Jake's clenched fists. This is the moment Joy has orchestrated. Her masterpiece. Public humiliation followed by private control. She'll forgive me eventually, she'll say. We'll work through this, she'll claim. But I'll owe her forever. I'll be the guilty party. The cheater. The one who nearly destroyed our family. Except I didn't. I reach into my jacket pocket slowly. Joy's right about one thing, I say quietly. Someone in this marriage has been lying. I place the manila envelope on the table between us. Someone has been unfaithful. Someone has destroyed everything we built. I meet Joy's eyes. But it wasn't me. Her confident expression flickers. Just for a second. But I catch it. You want to talk about affairs, Joy? Let's talk about Dr. Cameron Mitchell. The color drains from her face instantly. Patricia's arm drops from Joy's shoulder. The room leans forward collectively. That's right, I continue, my voice steady and calm. I know about the Meridian Hotel. Room 417, every Tuesday and Thursday for the past 4 months. I know about the burner phone you keep in your gym bag. The one you think I don't know about. Joy's mouth opens but no sound emerges. Gerald repeats slowly, Cameron Mitchell? The married doctor from your hospital? I open the envelope and spread photographs across the table. Time-stamped, dated, professional quality. Joy entering the hotel, her face clearly visible. Leaving 2 hours later, hair slightly disheveled. Cameron's silver Audi in the parking garage. Text message screenshots blown up and printed. These are from the private investigator I hired 6 weeks ago, I explain calmly. After I found a charge on our credit card for a boutique hotel in our own city. After you claimed you were at a medical conference in Portland, but your hospital badge was never scanned at any conference center. Jake grabs one of the photographs, studying it closely. His anger redirects instantly. Joy, what the hell is this? She recovers quickly, her tears stopping like a faucet turned off. This isn't what it looks like. You're twisting everything, Nick. Cameron and I were just working on a difficult case together. We needed privacy to discuss patient information. Gerald picks up a text message screenshot. He reads aloud, his voice shaking. I can't wait to leave him. We'll be together soon. Last night was incredible. He looks at his daughter. That's patient discussion? Please don't forget to subscribe as you continue. Joy's face contorts with rage. You hired someone to spy on me? You invaded my privacy. That's illegal. That's abuse. Actually, it's completely legal, I reply. When you suspect infidelity in a marriage, hiring a private investigator is standard procedure. My lawyer made absolutely sure of that before I proceeded. My mother sits down heavily in her chair. My father's expression has shifted from disappointment in me to something else entirely. Confusion. Reassessment. I reach into my jacket and pull out a second envelope. You said you're 8 weeks pregnant, Joy. You announced it tonight with such confidence, even suggesting I should take a paternity test. But here's something interesting. I hand the document to Gerald. He's a retired accountant, methodical and logical. The one person in Joy's family who always saw through her manipulations, though he rarely spoke up. His silence enabled her for years. What is this? Gerald asks, unfolding the pages carefully. That's a non-invasive prenatal paternity test, I explain. The kind you can take as early as 7 weeks into pregnancy. Just needs the mother's blood sample and the alleged father's DNA. Joy's face goes white. You can't just do that without consent. That's not legal. You're making this up. I didn't get the test through normal channels, I admit. That would have required your consent. But 3 weeks ago, you had routine blood work done at the hospital for your pregnancy. That blood work somehow found its way to a private lab along with my DNA sample. Funny how things work when you know people who know people. Gerald reads the document, his weathered face hardening with each line. The room holds its collective breath. Even the servers have stopped moving, frozen against the walls. This says, Gerald begins slowly, his voice cracking, Nick, this says you're not the father. 0% probability match. The room explodes into chaos. Patricia gasps so loudly it sounds like a scream. My mother starts crying, relief and shock mixed together. Jake looks like he wants to flip the entire table. Joy screams, that test is fake. You fabricated this to destroy me. Nick is setting me up because I discovered his affair first. The lab's contact information is right there. I point to the document Gerald still holds. Anyone can call and verify with the reference number. This is completely legitimate. Joy turns desperately to her father. Daddy, please, he's manipulating everyone. Nick is trying to destroy me because I caught him cheating. But Gerald doesn't move. He stares at the document, then at the photographs, then at his daughter. Then explain the hotel records, he says coldly, a tone I've never heard him use with Joy. Explain the text messages. Explain how Nick could have been having an affair with someone named Melissa when... He looks at me, understanding dawning across his face. There is no Melissa, is there? I shake my head. Melissa Chapman is real. She works in my office. But she's 63 years old, married for 40 years, grandmother of 5. We worked late on the Henderson project together. Those receipts Joy supposedly found? Team dinners with 8 people present, all documented. The business trips? All verified with flight records and conference attendance. I kept every piece of documentation because 3 months ago, Cameron Mitchell asked me to meet him for coffee. The room goes deadly silent. Even Joy stops her performance, genuine fear flashing across her face for the first time. That's when Cameron told me everything, I continue. And that's when I started planning tonight. I pull out my phone, opening a voice recording app. The timestamp shows 3 weeks ago. I recorded our conversation. With his permission. My finger hovers over the play button. Joy's breathing becomes rapid, panicked. She knows what's coming. She knows Cameron betrayed her. I press play. Cameron Mitchell's voice fills the elegant dining room, broken and guilty and devastatingly honest. Nick, I'm so sorry. Joy and I have been seeing each other for 7 months. Please don't forget to subscribe as you continue. Cameron's recorded voice continues, filling every corner of the room. But it's not what you think. I mean, it is, but she told me you two were separated. That you were emotionally abusive. That you cheated first with multiple women and she'd filed for divorce but was scared to tell people. Joy's mother Patricia stares at her daughter, horror spreading across her face like spilled wine. I believed her because she's convincing, man. Cameron's voice cracks with emotion. She showed me fake text messages supposedly from you, threatening her. She cried in my office about how you'd given her an STD from one of your affairs. She had documentation, stories, everything. I felt like I was saving her from an abusive marriage. Gerald closes his eyes. Susan, my mother, shakes her head slowly. Jake's girlfriend Sophia whispers, "Oh my God." Then 2 weeks ago my wife Jennifer found out, Cameron continues. Not about the affair initially. About Joy's lies. Jennifer is a paralegal, remember? She looked into Joy's claims out of concern. Found nothing. No separation paperwork. No restraining orders. No medical records of any STDs. Nothing. When Jennifer confronted me with the truth, I realized Joy had manipulated me completely. Joy stands abruptly, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. Turn it off. You have no right to play that. This is a private conversation. But nobody moves to stop me. Everyone is transfixed, horrified. Joy got pregnant deliberately. Cameron's voice drops lower, shame evident. She told me she was on birth control, but I found the pills and used hidden in her car. When I confronted her, she laughed and said accidents happen. Then she said if I didn't leave Jennifer and marry her, she'd tell everyone I raped her. That I'd forced myself on her and she'd been too scared to report it. Patricia makes a sound like she's been punched. Gerald's hands tremble. That's when I knew I had to tell you, Cameron says. Because Joy told me her entire plan. Cameron's voice continues steadily. She planned to announce the pregnancy at your anniversary dinner. She'd researched everything, knew all your important people would be there. She was going to accuse you of cheating first, make herself the victim, destroy your reputation. Then after the divorce and settlement, she'd publicly fall in love with me. The sympathetic pregnant woman finding happiness again. Joy's face transforms from panic to pure rage. Her carefully constructed victim persona shatters completely. She'd get your money, social sympathy, everything, Cameron says. I'm turning myself in to the hospital ethics board. Telling Jennifer tonight. My marriage is over. My career might be too. But I can't let her destroy you like she's destroyed me. The recording ends. Silence hangs heavy. Then Joy laughs harshly. You manipulative bastard. You think you've won? You recorded a conversation. Invaded my privacy. Turned Cameron against me. You're just as bad as me. Jake steps forward. Joy, he just played a recording of you threatening to falsely accuse someone of rape. Of deliberately trapping a man with pregnancy. Of planning to destroy Nick's life for money. And you're calling him manipulative? She whirls on Jake. Stay out of this. Not anymore, Gerald says quietly, standing. Joy, I think you need to leave. Right now. Patricia sobs openly, mascara streaming down her cheeks. 29 years of defending her daughter against every accusation, every conflict. Tonight that defense crumbles. But Joy isn't finished. Her tears stop completely. Her voice drops cold and dangerous. You want to play games, Nick? Fine. Let's play. She turns to address the room. Your perfect son stole code from his previous company, DataSync Technologies. That's how he got promoted. I have the original files timestamped. His entire career is built on intellectual property theft. Technova could fire him. DataSync could sue for millions. Criminal charges could be filed. My colleagues exchange glances. This is my darkest secret. Joy continues, so here's what happens. Nick drops the divorce. We call tonight a misunderstanding. He raises Cameron's baby and keeps quiet. Or I burn his entire life down. Please don't forget to subscribe as you continue. I reach into my jacket one last time. You're right about the code, Joy. But you forgot something. I pull out a third, thicker envelope. You forgot I spent 8 months preparing for this exact moment. Joy's confident expression cracks. 6 months ago I went back to DataSync. I continue. Confessed everything to their CEO, Linda Patterson. She was furious initially. But I offered her 30% equity in my improved algorithm, full credit for the original foundation. In exchange, DataSync dropped all claims, acknowledged the code was substantially my own work. I hand documents to my father. Signed, notarized, legally binding. DataSync got ownership percentage of something now worth millions. I got legal protection. Technova was informed, involved in negotiations. Everything handled professionally, transparently, legally. Jake examines the papers. This is brilliant. Your nuclear option is a dud, I tell Joy. Send your evidence anywhere. It's already resolved. Joy shakes visibly. You planned everything. Cameron came to me 8 weeks ago. I resolved DataSync to remove your leverage. Hired investigators. Took the paternity test. And waited for tonight for you to accuse me publicly in front of everyone we know. My mother asks, why let her do this publicly? Because if I filed quietly, Joy would have claimed abuse, spun herself as victim. I needed 50 witnesses to the truth. To her threats. Her admissions. I pause. But there's one more thing about this pregnancy and why Cameron really confessed. I pull up a photo on my phone. 8-year-old Emma Mitchell, bright smile, soccer trophy. 3 months ago, Emma started having severe anxiety. After weeks of therapy, she revealed Joy had been messaging her through a school app, telling her daddy didn't love her anymore, that he was leaving, that it was Emma's fault for not being good enough. The room inhales collectively. My mother's hand flies to her mouth. Joy psychologically tortured an 8-year-old child to break Cameron's marriage faster. That's when Cameron realized she was genuinely dangerous. That's when he came to me. Gerald looks at Joy like she's a stranger. Tell me he's lying. Tell me you didn't torture a child. Joy's face is stone. Emma was collateral damage. If Jennifer had just let Cameron go, none of that would have been necessary. She's 8 years old. Patricia screams. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with me? Joy laughs bitterly. I'm the only one willing to do what it takes to get what I want. You all walk around with your weak morals. I don't have that problem. Gerald speaks firmly. You need to leave. Get help. Stay away from this family. Patricia nods through tears. Joy's lifelong defenders finally breaking. Joy grabs her purse. You want your divorce, Nick? You'll get it? But I'll take everything I possibly can. Drag this out for years. Washington is community property, a voice says from the doorway. Richard Moreno, my lawyer, steps in. But documentation of adultery, extortion, cruelty affects spousal support significantly. Especially with 50 witnesses. You'll get what's legally required. Nothing more. Joy stares at him, then me. You thought of everything. I had to, I reply. You taught me that. She laughs hollowly. I actually loved you once. Before you became so boring. So predictable. So satisfied with your mediocre life. I was satisfied because I thought I had a partner. But you were never a partner, Joy. You were a parasite. She flinches. Enjoy your victory. But remember, you'll never trust anyone again. You'll see manipulation everywhere. Every relationship poisoned by what I did. That's my real gift to you. Joy walks out into the rain. The door closes. Nobody moves. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. This isn't over. I show Richard. He photographs it. Harassment. Add it to the file. 3 months later, I sit in my new apartment overlooking Puget Sound. The divorce proceeds. Joy had a boy. Cameron's son. I'm in therapy, learning to trust again. Moving forward one day at a time. Free. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more interesting stories.